Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. And just like that,
And
and this. All right, this is our weekly update about what is going on in the world of Sex and the City, the sequel. We are on episode 5, and the episode was called Under the Table. And I think it's aptly named because everything is brushed under the table, just like how they planned it. Brush everything under the table and keep it moving. So we're gonna go ahead and recap episode 5 of And Just Like That. So let's start with a recap. So we start with Carrie. Carrie is finally introduced to her downstairs neighbor, who is also a writer, has moved in from London to write a book, and he's frustrated. He's obviously cute or handsome in their eyes, and there's already some kind of tension between Carrie and Duncan is his name. He's a writer, and he has a problem with Carrie because she walks around in her heels all day making noise, and they have a little bit of tension going on between them based off of that. I'm going to go through the major plot lines, and then we can get into the small minute details. Pretty much nothing really big major happens in this episode other than Carrie has a new neighbor slash tenant, I guess, who has a problem with her and her heels and making noise upstairs. Miranda goes on a second date or third date, I don't know at this point, with Joy. They're having a good time at Joy's apartment, but Joy's dogs get in the way of them having a romantic time. Miranda at the same time is dealing with her neighbor, who's also noisy, and Miranda moves in with Carrie, and there is obviously a little bit, I don't know, control issues from Carrie. So Miranda moves in, Carrie is like, oh, you had my yogurt, you had my Diet Coke. They're not basically good roommates together, but Miranda moves in, and they're having roommate issues immediately. Seema, on the other hand, applies for a loan for her new real estate practice, and this is where they bring in an old character from Sex and the City, the loan officer in season 5, I believe, of Sex and the City, that denies Carrie her loan.
They bring it's the same one?
Oh, you didn't realize that's the same lady?
No, I love same that.
We'll go over the scene later. Basically, Seema is asking a loan. The loan lady says, cannot give you this loan because XYZ reason. That's literally Samantha. I almost called her Samantha.
I know.
Seema, she's nowhere near Samantha. So Seema that's her story. LTW is flying out of town to Atlanta with her editor. That's it. And we only see them coming back from this trip, and there's some kind of chemistry there, but nothing really happens. Harry and Charlotte do have something happening in this episode where Harry finally reveals to Carrie, hey, you know the problems that I had when Charlotte. I'm messing up everybody's names.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, you know what? They're all just becoming one person. You know what I mean? Like nobody's different. So Charlotte and Harry go on a walk, and Harry reveals to Charlotte that he has prostate cancer. Charlotte obviously doesn't react well.
Yeah, she doesn't always.
But nothing really happens. but nothing really happens in like that scene. Harry goes, "Hey, there's a 98% chance of survival rate. We're gonna be okay."
Yeah, don't tell anybody because I don't want to be the cancer guy or whatever.
Don't tell anybody because LTW's family and Charlotte's family are supposed to go glamping. They go glamping. Nothing happens in the glamping. This episode ends with Carrie having dinner with her downstairs neighbor, Duncan, discussing their writing lives. And the episode ends with Carrie taking off her heels and walking in our apartment. I know I'm really like,
yeah, you condensed it.
Those are the major lines. I mean, there are a lot of things. There are filler scenes in there that are something that we can talk about, but this is the major plot line of this episode, and it just ends there, basically. There are a couple scenes that I did appreciate, and I got more insight into Carrie or the situation. But overall, what was your feeling about this episode?
Yeah, I liked the part where Aiden actually bought the table. Like, he was the reason it was sold out. And that guy was like, "This is the most romantic thing I've ever seen," or whatever, like, I've ever been a part of, or something. That guy, he said that when Carrie... Huh?
You're talking about the gardener?
No, it was the delivery driver for the table.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just... Huh?
So forgettable.
Oh, sorry, but not for me. I was like, that was my favorite part. Like, that guy was so funny. He was like, "I've been doing this forever, and that was the most romantic thing I've ever seen." Like, that was good. Like, I think at the end of the day, this show is a comedy. You know? Like, and I think that we put a lot of like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that," or "normal people wouldn't do that," but because these are kind of technically like comedic characters, like the things that they're gonna be doing are gonna be like kind of extreme. Like, you know how like that sad, annoying husband in every comedy sitcom family comedy show, and like the hot wife, and then there's always like 3 kids, you know what I mean? Like, and they're so over the top and like ridiculous.
Are you saying that it's not like we would find it weird that Aiden got her the table that she wanted from the last episode?
No. I'm just saying that I think we forget that this is like a comedy show or like series, you know?
I don't agree with you. I don't think it's a comedy show. Like
I always have.
Like, comedy shows are like Arrested Development, or like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know if this is a comedy show.
Yeah, I always have viewed Sex and the City. Yeah, it's kind of like a romantic comedy show. Like you know how like
comedic moments that come from natural like life situations.
Oh, because sometimes I think they come very unnaturally. Like, they're kind of be put in situations that aren't normal at all. You know, like, remember when Samantha was like going down the fire?
Like, the comedy comes out naturally based on the situation. I never seen Sex and the City as a comedy show.
Oh,
never.
Yeah, totally. It definitely. I feel like
never been. I mean, I've seen it as a comedic show. I don't even know how to categorize it. I mean, I would categorize it as like, you're right. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I would categorize it between dramedy and romantic comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 3-way between all these genres, but I would never categorize this show as a comedy.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Full,
I mean, it's not crazy,
I-
but like to me, like the way I've always looked at it, you know, like especially
you've
the
always looked at
first. Oh yeah, the
comedy?
first season when they were doing all those like interviews with people on the street, and the men were saying the most ridiculous things, and women were saying the most ridiculous things. Yeah, it's a definitely comedy, and the movies are hilarious. The situations the girls always get themselves into are funny. Like,
I don't know. I think we have to disagree on this point because I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
There are comedic elements and there are situations that are comedic, but I would never categorize this show as a comedy.
I wonder what other people, how other people think.
It's not a drama either.
Of
'cause it's
course.
not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
drama comedy maybe.
Yeah,
but
I just always looked at it as like a big, long romantic comedy, you know? Like you know how those movies are. But then also everybody is so over the top, is the point I was trying to get across. Is like, they're so exaggerated.
And just like that, I feel like people are over the top. Whereas I feel like in Sex and the City, they were not so over the top. Like, I think they were relatable. Yes, they were a little bit upper middle class than most people.
Yeah.
But still relatable. I never saw it as a comedy that's not really, you know, like these women being over the top. I never ever seen the show as over the top. Like, even Samantha's character, like, she always made me feel like, yes, this might not be the woman that I am. Like, I'm not as promiscuous as her, but I didn't see it over the top at all. I mean, I would love, I appreciated living in a world that there were women like that. There were women like Charlotte, and then there were women like Samantha, you know, like,
yeah,
her side over the top. But I mean, overall, I mean, this episode really kind of just reminded me of why, like, yeah, in certain instances, Carrie is a really good friend.
She was there for Miranda.
Like, how much she is there for people, but at the same time, she's so selfish. She is so self-evolved, and this episode literally epitomizes her selfishness at the core. Because, like, let's go back to the.
She did take her shoes off at the end.
Yeah, she did take her shoe off, but she took it off for the man. She never took it off for anybody else. Like, let's be clear about it. Like, that she goes on a date with that Duncan guy, not date, but they go on a dinner, and she takes off her heels, not for anybody else, but for a man, which really annoys me. It's like, Carrie, because there's a filler scene between Carrie and Charlotte. They're walking down the street.
Yeah.
And Charlotte goes, "Hey, how is it going with Aiden?" And Carrie goes,
"Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to be realistic and, you know, not trying to romanticize this relationship." And it's like, bro, literally, you are doing exactly that. You're romanticizing this relationship and not living in this reality where Aiden has kids, and one kid in particular that has mental issues, that is going to require the attention of his family for the rest of his life, maybe. And you're romanticizing it and saying, oh, it's only a 5-year thing. It's not a 5-year thing. It's not. And the fact that at 56 years old, some man is telling you to wait for 5 years
I know.
is romantic your relationship. So, I mean, that's not proving her selfishness, but it's like, and then there is a scene in the beginning where, I mean, going back to this whole situation with her downstairs neighbor. So she is having lunch with her girlfriends. Carrie is having lunch with her girlfriends, and she's telling Miranda and everybody at the table, my neighbor hates me. And Miranda goes, oh, my neighbor plays insane loud music at all times of the day. And Carrie goes, what does that have to do with me?
I know. I couldn't believe it when I heard that.
That was the most telling line
Who said
I've
that?
ever heard from Carrie, because that is exactly who Carrie is. The world revolves around her. This entire thing revolves around her. Like, that was so rude. And then Miranda's like, hey, no, I understand. I'm trying to relate to you. My neighbor is also really bad. And I have to say, Miranda's neighbor is infinitely 100 billion times worse than her neighbor.
Yes.
Miranda's neighbor literally has a knife up and is fully naked and tells Miranda, if you knock on my door one more time, I will stab you and kill you. I'm sorry, that is a worse neighbor than what Carrie has.
Yeah.
And you're 50, like, why are you wearing heels in your apartment?
I know, I didn't understand that either.
Charlotte even points out, hey, it's not a good thing to have your dirty shoes from outside walking around in your apartment. And again, this is what I hate about this show, because either you can say, I want to set it apart from Sex and the City. Okay, then set it apart from Sex and the City. Stop bringing up things from Sex and the City that remind us that how good the show used to be and how shitty you made the show.
Yeah.
Because in that scene, Carrie goes, I have the right to shoes. A woman's right to shoes. Do you remember? That comes from the episode where Carrie loses her shoes or somebody steals her shoes.
Yes, I remember.
You remember?
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. And then going back to the scene with Seema, and they bring back the loan officer. Okay, you want to talk about the loan officer? You're telling me this woman for 20 years has been a loan officer and she hasn't moved up?
Also, what is going on with Seema? How does she own shares in a company, but isn't getting those shares after leaving said company? I'm so confused. At the end of the day, she still is owed money. She doesn't need a loan. I don't understand this. Like, am I dumb?
No. I have the exact same question. First of all, why does she need a loan?
Yeah, she even said to the loan officer that I was bought out or something, but then where's your money?
This is what I'm saying. They put that scene in so we could get that loan officer, and then we could be reminded that she was in Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And she had, and Carrie even brings it up later to Seema. Oh, I once had a loan officer deny me a loan for the apartment.
Yeah.
You and I have personally discussed this, where that's not how loans work. Loans don't work because you got a $30,000 down payment and now I can loan you $2 million. That's not how loans work,
you'll
bro.
need the behind it to back it up and get a loan.
Yeah, exactly. Just because my friend gave me $30,000, now I can get a loan for $2 million. That is not how loans work. And now you are telling me that all these women, Carrie's had a come up, Miranda has a come up, Charlotte has a come up, and this poor lady for the 20 years has just been a loan officer working under a supervisor? Come on, what are you doing? Like, you only did this scene to bring back this small character that nobody cares about. Who cares about? Like, you didn't even know that was the same loan officer.
Yeah. I remember the scene vividly, but I don't remember the lady, though. Yeah.
Yeah, but you remember the scene because exactly that character was not important.
No,
They
it's
only
just
brought us back
Easter egg.
so we reminisce and miss, but we don't miss the loan officer.
No, I know it's an Easter egg.
What Easter egg? What is
Easter
the
eggs
Easter egg?
are hidden things that only maybe a writer or director or actor would know about, and then
all these women have excelled in the 20 years, and this poor loan officer has stagnated.
Yeah, I agree.
A loan officer.
Yeah, I get that for sure. She should be the supervisor now. That would have been funnier.
Like, yeah, like now she is a male supervisor who is not like, so they could relate to Seema. And again, you're right. Seema was an owner or a partner.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
She must be wealthy on her own.
Yeah.
She has a driver. Like, what? She needs a loan to start an office? First of all, realtors, if you're independent, you don't need an office right away.
Do it, yeah, from her home for now.
Like, you don't need an office.
And when did she ever take anyone to her office? The whole time she never took Carrie to her office. She only met that one guy there because her boss introduced her. Remember the guy she had dated? Yeah, the director guy. But it's like, for the most part, they would meet up and go see a place. It wasn't like...
Exactly. Rich people are not trying to meet you in your
office.
They don't have time for that.
Yeah.
They don't have time to meet you in your office. So why does she even need this loan? And then the loan gets denied. And then that's when Carrie's like, I once had a loan officer deny me for a home. Yeah, woman, you didn't have anything. You had $900 in your savings and $700 in your checking. And you still got a house worth hundreds of thousands of dollars somehow. Make it make sense. That's what I'm saying. Either they want us to be like reminded of Sex and the City, or do they want us to see it as a separate entity from Sex and the City?
Mm-hmm.
They can't make up their mind. Again, they randomly put in Samantha's character again in the episode.
Right, to ask about the British guy.
Carrie texts Samantha, my neighbor is Duncan Rees. Do you know him? Why do you need to remind us that Samantha is not part of this?
I know, it's like we already know.
Like, why are you reminding us that Samantha is not part of the show? Why do you keep bringing it up? It doesn't add anything. It literally takes away from everything. Because it's just on text. Why don't we have the whole show on text then? Like, at this point, oh my god, like this episode just, and then Carrie asked, so Miranda has this crazy neighbor who literally is going to kill her with a cleaver if she knocks on his door again to tell him to be quiet. Finally, Carrie invites Miranda, and this is her excuse. I forget sometimes that I have all these rooms. If I said that to you, what would you do? Like,
oh, I mean that.
I sometimes forget that I have all these rooms. I should have just invited you to stay with me.
No, I think also though Miranda did want like her own space. Like initially, and
I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, why is Miranda in an Airbnb? Miranda has sold her house. She should be able to buy her own apartment.
Yeah.
Like, she has been a lawyer, a partner in a law firm for at least, let's say, 15 years.
Yeah, corporate law to be exact. So it's like she's rich.
And you can afford a place. Okay, let's say you're Airbnb. And then finally Miranda comes and stays with Carrie. Okay, if you're coming into my house, everything I have is mine. So if you're eating it, I don't have to point it out to you that it's mine.
Yeah.
Because you're my guest.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you invite people to live with you.
Yeah.
Like, and first of all, you're rich. You're not just normal. You're mega rich.
Right.
You have a multi-story house in Gramercy Park.
Mm-hmm.
You are mega rich.
Yeah.
You're not just rich. You're mega rich. And now I'm inviting you into my home. Of course, it's literally the next day. Anything you eat is going to be mine.
Yeah,
and
it was
so
because it was the last one. Like, I was always told that if you're over someone's home, you never eat the last thing. You know what I mean? If there's two, you can have one. Like, there's 2 apples, you can have one. But if there's 1 apple, you should ask. You should be like, is it okay? I eat this? It's the last apple. You know what I mean? I understand you, but I'm saying, like, that's how I was raised. And a lot of people were raised like that, you know?
100%. Like, if I was going to go stay at somebody's house, I would make sure their fridge is full, even if they didn't want something.
Yeah.
Like, that is completely agreeable. But if I'm inviting you into my home and you're eating something of mine, I would never point it out to you.
Yes, thanks.
Hey, that mine? What?
I know.
You're 56 years old.
I know.
You're 56 years old. You've invited somebody into your home. Somebody you consider your best friends, the loves of your lives, your soulmate.
Yes, yes.
Like, what?
Yes.
Like, if tomorrow my fiance comes and eats my last yogurt, bro, I'm not going to be like...
No, of course. And I didn't mean that I personally would do that, because I wouldn't. Like, I always say whatever I have is yours, you know? Like, you could have it. I don't care. But I was just saying how, like, I am as a guest. Like, as I am as a guest in someone's home is totally different than how I, like, treat guests in my home. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, it's not even about, it's the overall. So it's not even just like this yogurt. Miranda eats her yogurt and she goes, why are you, is that my yogurt? Then the banana. Oh, is that my last banana?
Yeah.
And then the Mexican Coke. And then actually before all of this, so like I said, the episode starts with Carrie walking in her heels up in her apartment hundreds of times. Clickety clackety, you know, just every...
Yeah.
Okay. So her neighbor comes and he's like, dude, you're so loud. Like,
Yeah.
your heels are loud.
Yeah.
And she goes, you can't get me out of my shoes. It's my shoes. Okay. But then immediately after, she invites Miranda.
Yeah, and tells Miranda she has to take off her heels.
And Miranda comes in with suitcase. And literally, poor Miranda is just taking them in.
Yeah.
And she goes, stop. You're gonna make too much noise with your suitcases. And then Miranda walks in. Oh my God, take off your shoes. I'm just saying, it overall goes to Carrie's controlling nature.
Yeah, and then Carrie goes, oh, I know how to walk in them. Remember, she said that to Miranda.
Like Miranda points out, bro, you're in your heels.
Yeah.
And Carrie goes, I know how to walk in them. No, you don't, because your neighbor complained that you were making too much noise, so you don't know how to walk in them.
Yeah.
And again, what kind of crazy person is walking around in their heels in their home?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I get they're trying to say that Carrie loves her heels. But even in Sex and the City, the show, she never walks around in heels in her apartment. I have seen the show about 1 billion times. 1 billion times. She doesn't walk around in heels in her apartment. And again, Carrie's had hip surgery. When you have
That
hip
she
surgery,
got physical training, remember? Physical therapy. She said, I want to be able to
yeah,
walk in heels again.
when you have hip surgery, bro, they tell you not to wear heels like that often. Like supposedly she's living in her heels, at this point, because she can't. Like, I literally think the whole episode was made so, again, they can have these callbacks where Carrie can go, I had the right to shoes. Again, call back to episode in Sex and the City. Call back for the Lona. They're just making like scenes so they can have callbacks.
Yeah.
Sex and the City.
I also think that Miranda and Carrie are equally kind of selfish people. If
I
I'm
mean,
being
they
honest.
always been
Like,
selfish.
I think that was like what they were showing is like remember Miranda was like walking butt ass naked in Carrie's home.
What the
Like,
hell?
that was weird. Who does that? Like,
Other people-
Miranda is not a good guest. Like, Carrie's not a good host, and Miranda's not a good guest. Like,
I do agree with you on that.
yeah.
Like, what was so Miranda moves in with Carrie, and the first night that she's there, she's like walking around butt ass naked. First of all, I have a bone to pick with people who sleep fully naked. Believe me, I'm a gal who likes to sleep very comfortably.
I just wear a t-shirt.
Okay, she wasn't even wearing an underwear.
I know.
Bro, that's weird. Okay, not that I'm trying to shame or any. It's not even about the naked part. We as women have women juices.
You're so funny.
Right? We have, like, we do. We do. So, unless you're telling me that you are changing your sheets every day that you wake up because you are woman juicing all over
Oh my
your
God.
sheets. Come on. That is the truth. It's true. You know it's true.
Not
Come on.
to, like, ruin my sheets. No.
I mean, not enough, but like you have womanly fluids that are constantly, like, especially when we were younger. Think about it when we were in our 20s.
Yeah, but not to, like, ruin my sheets.
But that's still disgusting. You're like, okay, I'm not saying like, oh,
I don't sleep with underwear on when I'm in my own bed. I sleep with a t-shirt and no underwear on, and there's no juices all over my stuff.
Women do, we, like,
Sure, for sure, 100%, but it's not like making a mess all over my bed unless I had sex.
And what about your butt? Considering white people don't use bidet, your wipe? They're usually just
wipe.
Yeah, wet wipes. But do you think most people are using wet wipes? No, they are not. They're using just toilet paper.
These are rich ladies.
Remember we had this episode where Miranda was doing what's his name? Steve's laundry, and Steve had skid marks.
Yes, that was so gross.
You remember that?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you're like, do you remember that?
When most white people in America do not have bidets.
Right, but Steve is gross. He's an old, gross man. From, like,
you're
Brooklyn.
sleeping without you have womanly fluid, your blood, whatever happening with your butt.
What's happening with my butt?
Not with your butt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, unless you're changing your sheets every day, bro.
Right, or like, you wash your ass before you go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Like, I agree with you 100%. If you wash your... Wait, why are you walking around butt-ass naked?
Yes, exactly, because
home.
If you sleep over my home, I'm wearing shorts to bed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I won't be bottomless. if you're over.
I
Or
have
at your
had
house, I don't do that, you know?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I've had female roommates my entire life since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. Not once have I seen any of them butt as naked.
Exactly. Me either. I've never seen any of my roommates naked.
That's just not a thing.
It's her first night.
Maybe the white people thing, I don't know. But do not be walking around somebody, like, if you're staying in your friend's house, do not, if you sleep naked, all kudos to you.
Yeah,
as soon
your
as
own
you walk
home.
out of that door, you put some freaking clothes on you. Whether you're gonna see somebody or not.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Like, you're walking, so you're
that's what I mean. Like, Miranda's selfish too, because it's like, you're not supposed to act the same way you do at home when you're in someone else's home. You just don't. It's like, even if it's your best fucking friend, you still just have a courtesy, you know? Like, yeah.
Like, it's just courtesy. Like, I totally get it. I like to sleep very loose.
Yeah.
And I'm like that. But if somebody, like, if I have a friend, like, even you over,
yeah.
I will consciously, at least when I'm around you.
Yeah.
Like, I might go to the room and take off my clothes.
Whatever. Yeah.
But as soon as I walk out that door, I'm gonna make sure that I am, and I'm not a prude by any by any means. But it's just like social contracts that we have in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just common sense. So, I mean, that whole episode was so cringy.
They make Miranda so dumb, and I don't remember her being dumb.
I don't know. I mean, and it's just like, it makes no sense. Miranda's had a kid, and she doesn't sleep naked because we've seen her in episodes, now that I remember, where she's sleeping with Steve and she has fully clothes on. In fact, again, I watched the show a billion times.
She wore a pajama set with Che Diaz. She wore a full pajama set, a matching pajama set.
Exactly. We've never known her to be a naked sleeper.
No.
And now she is a naked sleeper. Like,
so
okay, you can change within. Apparently, everything has happened in the last 3 months.
Yeah, from Miranda.
Everything has happened in the last 3 months because Carrie told us she just moved into the apartment 3 months ago. So, where season 2 left off, and kind of in the middle to what this is happening, is only 3 months.
Maybe it took a while to get the apartment, though. Like, she moved in 3 months ago, but maybe there was, like, all the bullshit that comes with...
No. Do you remember?
Bought it.
End of season 2, when Che and Miranda are still together, Carrie is has a going away party.
Oh, yeah.
And because she's moving into her new apartment.
Yeah. I thought it was like a year had passed.
Oh, bro. I thought so too. But it's only been 3 months. They're the ones who put a time limit. Like, I thought it was way longer than that.
Yeah,
it's only
so
been
weird.
3 months since she met Aiden, started going out with him, found a new apartment. Remember? Because he wouldn't go into her old apartment because it had
definitely been more than 3 months since she started dating Aiden, because they were staying at Che's place and hotels for a while. So it's definitely been more than 3 months from them starting dating.
To the apartment. And remember, she had it. No. It's only been 3 months, bro. Because
from the time she got the apartment, it's been 3 months. You just said she just moved into the apartment 3 months ago.
No, but she had already moved in Oh, you're right. She moved in at the end of season 2,
Yes.
where
Yeah.
after all the Airbnb at Che's apartment,
Yeah.
all of
She's
the
been at
last
the apartment for
episode.
3 months.
So season 2, right, ends
Yeah.
with her moving into her new apartment.
Yes.
So all of this has only been 3 months.
Yes, since the end of season 2, it's been 3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
And in 3 months, Miranda has gone from a pajama wearer to a naked sleeper in somebody else's home. That's the timeline.
So weird.
And again, let's say 3 months of moving in, 3 months of her and Aiden getting to. In 6 months, she's so devastatingly back in love with Aiden that she's willing to do this to herself. And she calls it being realistic. That
Yeah.
this being realistic and not trying to be romantic. Bro,
Yeah.
you're insane. The reason why your friends keep asking you what's going on with you and Aiden is because they're all scandalized by what is going on, and they just don't have the balls to tell you, except Anthony, who tried to tell you and you shot him down. And
Yeah.
the poor guy got so scared for getting kicked off of the show that he even mentioned, "Wouldn't you cut me off?" Remember? I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Where Anthony's character is like, "Wouldn't you cut me off?"
Mm-hmm.
Because it's true.
It is true.
She will cut him off, like she did Samantha.
Yes.
Like this, I don't know. And then the major plot line, another one, was Harry having prostate cancer, which I think you might have alluded to.
Yeah,
and
they
said,
might have a problem. Yeah.
Because he had problems with peeing earlier and peeing on himself and then couldn't get it up. So they finally brought that up.
Yeah.
What did you think?
You know, my dad had prostate cancer, and it is curable. Like, he got it taken care of, and, you know, so Harry's most likely gonna be fine. Like, that would be so dumb if they did something to Harry.
No, but I wish there was no Harry. I wish Harry had gotten off with a twin. I mean, those are topics that we need to keep for alternative storylines. Because I like Harry. Don't get me wrong. Harry's great. Harry's sweet. But then what? Like, what is their storyline? Like, Charlotte has forgotten how. Like, first thing Charlotte
That's all
says.
Charlotte's ever wanted. She got her
Is like,
dream.
I'll quit my job. Bro, what? Like, the first thing she's like, when Harry goes, "Oh, I have prostate cancer," she goes, "I'll quit my job." Bro, you barely just got a job. Like, calm
Take
down.
care of
Like,
him.
I know, but she cares for him. But it's like, you don't know anything. You don't like. Her first question is not, "Which doctor did you see?"
Right, it's Charlotte. She fucking is hysterical and crazy about everything.
I mean, I feel like Kristen Davis has forgotten acting. Do you remember the scene where she's like, "Everything is not fine"? Like, her acting is just so bad. Like, I don't know what is going on with Kristen Davis, because she was good.
I feel like her character's always acted that way. Like, if anyone is actually being true to their real character from Sex and the City, it is only Charlotte.
I agree with you overall. Yes, she has stayed true to her character, but have you looked at her acting? Like, the actor is acting, Kristen Davis, playing Charlotte. Her acting has got like 100 times worse than it was.
I don't know. I feel like they all always act over the top. They all do that overly, like, thing, you know? Like, they all do that. Like, Harry is always going, like, yeah, like, she's always doing those things with her eyes and her face, like,
oh my God.
You know?
Don't get me started on Carrie and screaming the amount of times this bitch has screamed, like,
I know.
I
it's a lot.
can't. I just can't. I can't. Like her screaming. You remember the episode where she's dating New York and she's like, I get caught under the rain. I got it. It's just like, oh.
Yeah.
God, I love her so much sometimes. Like, I mean, there was this TikTok that I watched of this lady, and she's like talking about all the time that Carrie's a good friend, and we on the internet are haters on Carrie. And
But there are
every
times
time I
when she
get,
is a good friend, but there's also times where she isn't.
she is like, but at the same time, I feel like that is because she is the main character of this series.
Mm-hmm.
So it's written in that she is the primary friend for all of them.
Right.
But honestly, women like her in real life are not like that. Like, no. Women like her who are selfish and so involved are never the primary friends. The only reason she is the primary friend in Sex and the City is because she has to be, because it's written for her to be. But if this character was a real person, she would not be that person at all. She would be the friend that we all cut out of our lives because she is a terrible friend. And I've had those friends in life where they are only self-involved. Everything revolves around them. Everything is about their drama. Everything is about their lives, about what they're going through, and they never come through for you. We've had those friends, and we've cut out those friends. And Carrie is that friend, and the only reason Carrie continues to be a good friend is because it's a TV show, and it is written for her to be a good friend. In certain
It's in the
instances.
script.
It's literally in the script. She is not a good friend. And when she literally says that to Miranda, when Miranda is trying to relate to her as a friend and go, I have the same problem in my neighbor, and she goes, what does that have to do with me?
Yeah.
The epitome of what Carrie Bradshaw is.
I know, that was really annoying. I did not even understand. It wasn't even funny, or like, I didn't get it. It was like, why did they say that? Like, that was so pointless.
So many lines in this episode.
It could have been funnier if she was like, said something like, because this was before the guy was like naked and gonna stab her. It was just, she was just saying, oh, he plays loud music or whatever, right? And like, but Carrie had met the William guy and he was kind of intimidating, you know? So like, it would have been funnier if Carrie was just still like submissive, or not submissive, but still like passive about her thing, but saying something like, well, at least he doesn't scare you or something, you know? And then
get back to
him
me
scaring her, you know?
holding a knife and is trying to kill you or something along that line.
Yeah, like
Get back to
something.
me when he's naked and holding a knife. And
Yeah.
the next scene, that would have been funny.
Yeah, it would have been
right.
funny, like, but this was just mean and weird and rude, and weird that the other friends weren't like, wait, like, okay, like, if we were all sitting at a table, me, you, Mia, right? And then Mia says something that relates to what I say, and then I just say, like, yeah, what does that have to do with me? You would be like, China, why are you being a bitch right now? What's going on?
Damn, girl, don't gotta be a bitch.
Yeah,
like I would literally.
Why?
And I feel like Samantha, like if this was Sex in the City, they would have all shut it. You know what I mean? Like, and Charlotte does try to say like, oh, you know, it's actually not a good thing to walk around in heels, dirt shoes in your house. And then again, Carrie brushes it off. Oh, but it's my right to choose.
And that's fine. It is your right. It's your home. If you want to do that, whatever. But it's like dumb. It's a dumb thing to stand on. Like, that's your right. It's like,
And
yes,
then,
it is your right. You are right. But, like, is
she
that
doesn't
what you're
even
going to fall on
stand
the sword on, you know?
But then she doesn't even do that, because continuing forward, she's like literally trying to control everybody's movement to not disturb this guy. You own this house, bro. You own this house. This guy is renting, supposedly, and
Yeah.
you don't even know about it, from you. He doesn't own this house.
Yeah.
I have neighbors upstairs
It's
that
so
literally,
loud.
how much noise do they make at all times?
So loud all the time.
They make so much freaking noise, and I complain all the time. Do you think they have literally gone, let me control everybody's movements, and I'm gonna put this ugly rug on, and so I can... No. That has not happened.
Nobody does that.
Nobody does that. And literally, she's bending over backwards to make sure that this guy doesn't perceive her as noisy. Who the F cares? I'm 38 years old. At 37, I forget. 37.
Yeah, stop aging yourself.
I don't care. Like, I will be courteous at the times that is quiet hours, but other than that, I'm gonna keep living my life.
Yeah, you're gonna live in your apartment.
And I don't even own my place. If I owned my place, you goddamn can't tell me nothing. Call the cops. Call the cops if I'm being loud.
Mhm.
I own the place. And you're telling me I can't walk around in my house? And then I'm gonna bend over. I'm gonna tell my friends. It's not even that. It's not even all that. You can be courteous. You can try to be nice to your neighbor. It's not even that. She tells her friends, I have the right to shoes. I'm upset. He doesn't like my shoes. She gets mad and then does everything in her life to accommodate this man. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what Carrie is. She bends over backwards for men.
For men. Mm-hmm.
She's bending over backward for Aiden.
Yep.
She's bending over backwards for a man she doesn't even know.
Oh.
There's rugs to make sure he doesn't get disturbed. But when her friend Miranda needs a place to stay, they can't even live together for 2 days before they decide that they need to figure out a new living situation. So, what the hell is going on?
I know, it's crazy that she can't compromise for her friend. It's weird.
She can compromise for Aiden. She can compromise for her neighbor. But her friend drinking her Coke, being in her space, I get it. I live alone. It is weird to share your space with somebody. But if I am inviting somebody into my home,
Yeah, you accommodate them.
accommodate them for all it's worth, because you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are, but she's not willing to do that. And so this is what I'm saying. I genuinely want to stop watching the show.
Let's do it.
Like,
Stop watching it.
Like, you know me, like, I watch Sex in the City.
And we could just start talking about Sex in the City, you know?
Like, I'd rather talk about Sex in the City at this point than talk about this show, because this show is such a disappointment from every age. And the fact that she says that she didn't care, Sarah Jessica Parker says that she doesn't watch it. Maybe you should, honey.
We shouldn't watch it either. She doesn't watch it,
Maybe
we
you
should watch
should
it.
watch it. Or maybe we should take it from you and not watch it.
Yeah.
Because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. What is the show about?
Who doesn't watch their own show? Oh, fuck, I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I know you've had because the show is become about rich, white, boring people. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's crazy to think because they were rich and well off in Sex and the City as well. Like, we don't have a problem with rich, but they are so out of touch with everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Like,
they used to do more stuff together too. Now they're like doing stuff separately. You know what I mean?
I hate that this show has become a family show. I hate that I know so much about their children. I hate that all of these women are just less versions of themselves.
Yes.
It's insane. It's insane,
Yeah.
I, as a woman, aspire to be a better version of who I am right now. And I hope by the time I'm 56, I'm even a better version of myself, mentally, physically, every which way.
Yeah.
But these girls are not. These girls are the boring versions of mothers that we see. Boring versions of older women that we see. Like, it's not exciting. The show is not revolutionary. The show is not changing anybody's hearts, minds, perspective, anything. Like, I have shown Sex and the City to my fiance, and he has watched it as a man who's not even American, who doesn't even get fully the whole, everything behind it. And he has watched it and goes, oh wow, these women are talking about things that are very progressive, that are very looking at it, or even just talking about it.
Yeah.
In the years that they were. And now I don't even want to watch this.
Yeah.
Like, I can't relate to these women at all.
Yeah. I know.
I can't relate to these women. These women don't seem real. And I'm not saying real in the sense, oh, mothers with children, they gotta choose between their careers. No, that's not the real. Yes, we've seen that a million times. We've seen that a million times. We want to see the real, where women are making different choices than what the norm is, or saying things that what we as women are feeling that is not being said. It is beyond boring. It's so boring.
I do think Seema and the gardener are gonna hook up. And
honestly, by now, that would be the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
That would happen to Seema. Like, Seema, they haven't given Seema anything in this season. Nothing, like, poor Seema. She has so much potential, but they're not giving her anything because they want to keep it to the three main girls. LTW has nothing because, again, they're the three main people are the producers / directors of the show, and they want all the money. It's all about the money at this point. They're robbing us blind, and that's what it is. They're making money, and it's a slap in our faces as the audience to say. And I get it. Like, I, as an actor, don't want to watch myself. I get it, but I would still watch it.
Yeah, there's also like things that as the actor you wouldn't know, like the whole full body of the show unless you watch it. Like, don't you want to see what you made? Like, I get not wanting to watch yourself, but there's like all these people in
That's
it,
what I know.
and
The PR.
the scenes you acted in, is it gonna give you the full story? Like, don't you want to know like what you made? Like, does that make
It's
sense?
not even true. It's not even true, bro. Like, that's why I like Sarah Jessica Parker doing all these marketing and saying all these things makes no sense,
Yeah,
bro.
there's no way she doesn't
Like,
watch the show. I don't believe it.
no way you're a producer and you haven't watched it.
Yeah, there's
And
no way.
also, maybe you should watch it because then you could create a better product.
Exactly. You would watch it because you would want to do. Yeah, you want to see what you made. B, you want to critique it. And
So then
yeah,
that
that's why
means
you would
you're not
watch
watching.
something that you made.
That
You
means
know.
only in it for the paycheck.
Well,
That's what these
sad.
women are.
That's
And
sad.
I'm so glad Kim Cattrall / Amantha never participated in this show.
Yeah.
Or
Even though
wanted
she would
to
have
be.
made it better.
She knew what a hot mess this would be, and this is a hot mess.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad she's not part of this, because it would ruin the legacy of Samantha. It would just lose everything.
Yeah.
It would lose. Like, I have to like when I watch Sex and the City now, like, it makes me like 100 times more upset, because it's like, wow, that means you were capable, and somewhere you've decided to not
the
put
same
in
writers.
Bring in the same writers. Those writers did phenomenal. Maybe they were men. Who cares?
They were
doing a good job. Like, not all women can do a good job. Like, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, let's not make it a gender thing. Make it a capable thing.
Just hire the best person for the job.
For the job, these women are not doing it, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they're women. It has not. They might not be good enough. Yeah. They have not proven themselves in 3 seasons to be good enough, and they're not.
Yeah.
How has nobody gotten fired? That's what I don't understand.
Because they're the producers.
I mean, the fact that we've already talked about it for an hour is astounding, because there's nothing to talk about.
We talked about it longer than the episode was.
Like, how bad this episode and this series is. Oh, God. Anyways, do you have any other thoughts?
No, just that I think Seema and the gardener are gonna hook up. I mean, that's what it looks like. You know, you kind of have an eye for these things.
You know, Carrie and her neighbor are gonna hook up.
I think so, because she also had said when she was talking with Charlotte that she said, oh yeah, Aiden just isn't gonna be my I don't know, I want to say like lover here, like something of that nature. Like, she had said something like, because, you know, I asked her, like, oh, it's romantic with you and Aiden. And then she said, I just have to get used to the fact that Aiden isn't going to be here to, like, love me or something along that nature. Like, be here in the city.
I think overall, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think that could be perceived, but honestly, how lame this character has gotten, I think she is thinking, oh, I'm just not going to have a full-time lover or partner around. But I don't think she is thinking, oh, that means I'm in an open relationship. Believe me, if they hook up, which they will, because, again, you're essentially a 56-year-old single woman in New York with lots of money. She's going to want to hook up, and she's going to be like, no, but what about Aiden? She doesn't think she's in an open relationship. I hope, I mean, honestly, that would make it more better if she thought that was the case. But I don't think she is. And I saw the previews for the next episode. Nah, bro. Aiden comes and visits her.
Of course.
In the next episode.
Of course.
So I don't think she thinks she's in an open relationship, but she's gonna want to get down with her neighbor.
No, I
For
didn't
sure.
think so. I didn't think that she would think that either. I just think that the fact that she even thought to say that.
Yeah, because deep down, Carrie knows that this is not normal, that this is not okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I feel like the Carrie that they're portraying in this show is supposed to be a more chilled down, less romantic version and more mature, and that's what Sarah Jessica Parker has been going around in PR circuit and selling us, that Carrie Bradshaw, that these women are mature now, that these women are making better decisions, and
Right.
these women are supposed to be, you know, grown and mature, and they've had this life. No, bro, no.
Yeah.
That's you pretending to be
Yeah.
mature. That's you pretending that you haven't changed.
Yeah.
That's all of you. You pretending that maturity is accepting your Aiden being away for 5 years to take care of his crazy son. That's maturity? No, that's not maturity. That is being delusional. And you are literally the same exact Carrie pretending to be a better Carrie.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Alright, on that note, I think we should end it because... Huh?
I said those are my final thoughts.
those are definitely our final, but that's how how bored, like how sleepy and tired you are right now. That's how I feel when I actually watch
It's from work, honestly, and
I mean,
traveling.
you have a legit reason. My reason is it's so bad. I'm bored. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to support it. I don't want to be. I just want to see where it's going, just so I could be like.
I'm sorry.
Just so I could be like.
Yeah.
Hey,
I know.
Like, higher, better. So basically.
I know. I wished it was better too. I do, but maybe we could do a podcast about Sex and the City, since we like it. Because this is us
so much...
like being angry.
Yeah, like I've never had so much hate in my life. For sure.
It can't be good for us.
It can't be. But I mean, everywhere I look, TikTok or Instagram,
yeah, everybody's thinking the same thing.
I can't find one person who likes it. That's when I was shocked when our friend Mia said that she liked it.
Yeah,
I was absolutely shocked because I just can't see what you would like.
I know.
And I'm not.
I know. She just likes the fashion and everything. She likes what I like about it.
There really isn't that much fashion. Like,
there is. They've always been very fashionable. Everybody wears good clothes.
These women have people shopping for them. They're not fashionable. Costume designers are fashionable.
Of course, that's why we watch it, for that fashion designer. Like,
yeah, like you think Miranda, like, whatever. I can't get into it anymore.
I mean, when Carrie put the scarf on Miranda, that was very cute. It did go with her outfit. That is what friends do. They're like, oh, this looks good with that. Like, that was genuine. Like, I did like that.
Oh, I mean, then it goes back to Miranda being a terrible...
I know. Why would you clean up the Pepsi with that?
Okay, we've had spills in our life. You know what we do?
Towel.
We run to like a normal person, and we grab paper towels or a towel.
How does this bitch not have towels?
This is what I'm saying. Like, what is going on in this show?
Yeah, like Carrie grabbing the paper and her grabbing the scarf, and then saying, oh, you told me it was nothing. I'm sorry, but if my friend was like, oh, it's nothing, I would still protect that scarf with all of everything I have and make sure they get it back. And it's nice, not fucked up. And I definitely wouldn't have used it to clean up liquid.
Honestly, I think they did all that so Carrie can go, oh, is this my Mexican Coke that you're drinking? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're setting up things so
Of
they
course,
could
that's what writers do. Yeah.
we can get, like, something to, because they want to get to the point that Carrie is upset that Miranda's kind of in her space after inviting her friend, and she lives in a multi-story house in New York, bro.
I know.
In New York. Like, wow. Like, you're mega rich. You're mega rich. And you're upset about one Mexican It was so they could have a callback to the whole Miranda ate a yogurt from my fridge, and now Miranda is having a Coke from my fridge. Yes, because you invited her to stay with you.
Right, it's expected.
If you don't want somebody to use your stuff, you could be like, hey, bro, hey, you cool.
Yeah, before they come in. Yeah.
But you can't eat anything out of my fridge.
Yeah. Just say that before you have me, or the second I'm there, be like, hey, these are the rules, just so you know. And then I will do my best to follow the rules, But it's like, you have to tell me what they are first.
Exactly. So I feel like that scene was literally there so they could have a callback about, Carrie not being happy with Miranda using her stuff.
Yeah.
Such as eating a yogurt, eating a banana, and having her Coke. Those were the 3 straws that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, I don't think you should be living with me anymore, and you need to find your own place.
Right.
Wow. And this woman is somebody that Carrie calls her soulmate. Yeah. Her soulmate. Like, really, bro? I don't know. I mean, Carrie's insane.
Yeah, Carrie's all insane, honestly.
Anyways, I think we're done. Unless you have any other thoughts.
No, that was it.
So we are done for the week. Hopefully we will see you guys back for another episode of And Just Like That and This. And that is Don't Kill Myself.
Oh my God, don't say that.
No, trigger warning. No. And just, not literally, figuratively kill myself from the boredom of this show.
Oh my God. Sorry I'm yawning. I'm so exhausted.
On that note, we will say goodnight. We'll see you next time.
Au revoir.